For the state of Florida is now in session. The Honorable Dan Traeger, Chief Judge, presiding. All persons that have business before the court draw near, give attention, and you will be heard. May God save the United States of America, the state of Florida, and the honorable court. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a ceremonial session of the 6th District Court of Appeal. I'd first like to ask you all to remain standing. We'll have an invocation. It's going to be delivered by our clerk of court, the Honorable Stacey Hector.
Together, we want to transition from small education to the professional. We welcome the spirit of the ceremony. We offer gratitude to the lawyers who are accepting the privilege of we also give thanks to those who have supported, courage, and love. And all who hear this and today inspired by it. Thank you for lawyers have 6 years to hear and understand. Open to the future concept open and open today. Your concept for honor, praise,
and to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, the Honorable Carrie-Ann Wozniak.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, please be seated. As I said, welcome to a ceremonial session of the 6th District Court of Appeal. My name is Dan Traeger. I'm the Chief Judge of the court. I'd like to introduce you to my colleagues. To my left, you're right at the top here, is the Honorable Mary Nardella. You've already heard from the Honorable Carrie-Ann Wozniak. And from the front, going from my right, your left, this is the Honorable Petra Brownlee, the Honorable Josh Mize, the Honorable Keith White, and the Honorable Roger Gannell. 2 of our colleagues, the Honorable John Stargell and the Honorable Jared Smith, weren't able to make it today for family reasons. They apologize, they send their regrets, but also their congratulations. As a ceremonial session of the 6th District Court of Appeal, this is a court session, but it is also a little bit different than some regular court sessions that you've been a part of or maybe will be a part of. We encourage recordings, we encourage pictures. If you'd like at any point to move around the courtroom, especially when it comes time to swear in the inductees, you're welcome to do it. Laughter, applause is more than welcome. It does please the court. All right. We have a tradition at the court that one of us delivers some remarks to you guys, a message that will hopefully give you some guidance and some thoughts as you launch what will hopefully be some very successful legal careers. My colleague, the Honorable Mary Nardella, has offered to give those remarks this year. Judge Nardella.
Good morning. Thank you, Judge Traeger. Newly admitted members of the Florida Bar, today marks the moment where you leave a world of theory and enter the reality of your calling. While it is a noble calling, it is also a difficult one. And while you have already given much to this profession, to do it well will require much more. It will demand, especially in the beginning, almost all of your time, and it will occupy most of your mind. And unlike law school, it now comes with clients who will come to you scared their businesses won't survive, scared that they will be separated from society, scared of their mortality. They will come with real problems for which they will seek a solution. And too often you will discover that they have only bad options separated by varying degrees of pain. I tell you this to prepare you. If you choose to do this job well and for a long time, there will be many hard days ahead. And if the only thing that you exchange for these burdens is a paycheck, you are likely to lose your way. To do this job well and for a long time, you must have a deep and resonant purpose. You must know why you work and toward what end. Tim Keller, a popular theologian who passed away a few years ago, answered that question in this way. Looking at the Genesis story, he found Adam and Eve entrusted with the task of tending and keeping a garden. This, in essence, was a mandate for purposeful work, for cultivating and stewarding created order. From this mandate, he deduced that work, in its fundamental essence, had to transcend mere sustenance, mere personal advancement. It must have been an intrinsic aspect of humanity, not an incidental part of human life. Work must be an invitation to participate in the art of creation. Now think about the profession you are about to enter. Think about the new community you are about to join. In a real sense, it is our shared garden. It is a complex and sometimes unruly place, full of potential for growth and beauty, but also susceptible to disorder and neglect. Tending this garden is a meaningful purpose. And because we know there will be times when the legal landscape feels overgrown, when the path forward seems unclear, and when the effort required feels immense, in those times, I urge you to remember the garden, to see your work not just as serving a single client, but as contributing to the flourishing of our shared society. Whether you are structuring a business, writing a will, arguing for an advancement in the law, even in your advocacy of the individual, recognize that your efforts have the potential to cultivate order and to serve an entire community. Because this shared profession that you are about to enter will demand your complete engagement, your intellect, your ethics, your empathy. To do it well over the length of a long career, you must avoid the temptation to see it as a job. You must instead approach it as a vocation, a calling, as a part of our continuing mission as temporary caretakers of this world. So today, as you take your oath, this court's hope for you is that you will be diligent stewards of our legal system, that you will embrace this profession with courage and wisdom and a steadfast dedication to making a meaningful difference. And just as the gardener hones their craft, that you will commit yourself to the continuing learning and to continuous improvement, that you will never lose your curiosity, and that you will never lose sight that the law is ultimately about people. Welcome to the Florida Bar.
Thank you, President Moore. Now I'd like to recognize Nathan Hill from the Florida Board of Bar Examiners, which is easy for me to say. He is going to present the candidates. Mr. Hill is a shareholder at Gunster and Yoakley, which is a very good firm. Before that, he was a federal prosecutor, and many, many years ago, we knew each other as federal law clerks. Mr. Hill.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Good morning, everybody. On behalf of the Florida Board of Bar Examiners, let me congratulate you on your achievement today. Pursuant to the rules of the Florida Supreme Court relating to admissions to the bar, the candidates before you have been rigorously examined by the board, both as to knowledge of the law and understanding of the standards and ideals of the legal profession. In addition, their backgrounds have been subjected to searching character and fitness investigations. On behalf of the Florida Board of Bar Examiners, I certify that these candidates are fully qualified and that each enjoys the enthusiastic recommendation of the Florida Board for admission to the Bar of Florida. I'm going to go through and read the names of each one of the candidates. When I do so, please stand and identify the law school that you attended. Also, if I mispronounced your name, I apologize in advance. Please feel free to correct me. And if when I call your name, if you're in the back, you can come forward at that time. Mr. Lucas Blackwell. Mr. Darnell Brown. Miss Johanna Brown. Miss Shannon Clark. Miss Taylor Creedon. Miss Ashley Dennis. I believe you can come forward.
Yeah, come on up now.
Mr. Joshua Gamboa. Miss Allison Gillikin. Miss Nicole Hurley. Miss Hannah Jacobson. Mr. Michael Joseph. Ms. Andrea Junco. Miss Joellen Levy. Mr. Forrest Lind III. Miss Marissa Patillo. Mr. Adam Sakharov. Miss Marielle Santana. Miss Marilise Solano. Mr. Robin Steenstra. Oh, Rob. Miss Amelia Todd. And finally, Mr. Sean Zeitlin. If there's anybody who's here, whose name I have not called. Joshua Gamboa. Yes.
You just sit in the front, Mr. Gamboa. I think we're out of jury seats. Sure.
Your Honor, on behalf of the Board of Bar Examiners, I move that these candidates be admitted to the Florida Bar.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. All right, for the administration of the oath of the oath of attorney to the candidates, would recognize my colleague, the Honorable Roger Gammon. And if anybody would like to come up and have a better filming, you have, ma'am, you have maybe the best jury seat because you can't see the audience, but maybe not in this situation. So if anybody wants to come up and film this, they're more than welcome to do it.
Good morning. I want to say it was 25 years ago today, I took this same oath that you're about to take. It was a memorable time for me. I hope that this creates a lasting memory for you, and we all thank you for allowing us to be a part of it. Please stand and raise your right hand. And I will ask you to repeat after me. I do solemnly swear I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Florida. I will maintain the respect due to courts of justice and judicial officers. I will not counsel or maintain any suit or proceedings which shall appear to me to be unjust, nor any defense except such as I believe to be honestly debatable under the law of the land. I will employ for the purpose of maintaining the causes confided to me such means only as are consistent with truth and honor, and will never seek to mislead the judge or jury by any artifice or false statement of fact or law. I will maintain the confidence and preserve inviolate the secrets of my clients, and will accept no compensation in connection with their business except from them or with their knowledge and approval. To opposing parties and their counsel, I pledge fairness, integrity, and civility, not only in court, but also in all written and oral communications. I will abstain from all offensive personality and advance no fact prejudicial to the honor or reputation of a party or witness unless required by the justice of the cause with which I am charged. I will never reject, from any consideration personal to myself, the cause of the defenseless or oppressed, or delay anyone's cause for lucre or malice. So help me God. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Congratulations. And I'd like to recognize Frank Bedell. He's representing the Florida Bar. Mr. Bedell is with the Upchurch mediation firm now after a long and storied career as a litigator in town. He's served in numerous capacities in connection with the bar, including president of the YLD division, which is the Young Lawyers Division. He's also a past president of the Orange County Bar Association. Mr. Bedell.
May it please the court.
Sir.
New members, welcome. Welcome to the profession. I am one of the 52 members on the Board of Governors, your Board of Governors, our Board of Governors. On behalf of President of the Florida Bar and all 52 of us, I welcome you to the bar. I congratulate you, and I congratulate the family members and the friends who supported you. A little bit about the bar. We have over 110,000 members, and the Florida Supreme Court basically controls pretty much everything, but we have a Board of Governors. We meet 5 or 6 times a year. We have various committees, and what we're trying to do is, in these fast changing times, is to come up with a set of rules and procedures to govern the practice of law so that we can better deliver legal services to the public. And we are here to serve the public. That is what we do, and it's difficult at times, and I recognize that. It was a long time ago when I was in your chair. So I'm about to talk about what it's like to be a young lawyer, but I don't really know, except from talking to my friends who are young lawyers. One more thing about the Board of Governors. The most important thing that we do is handle lawyer discipline. And I hope that you never have an encounter with that process. But if you do, understand that there is plenty of due process. We are endeavoring to make it as fair and open and transparent as we can, while at the same time balancing the need for confidentiality. There are local grievance committees, and what happens is if a grievance complaint is filed, somebody from the Florida Bar looks at it and decides whether, if proven, it has merit, and then the respondent has the opportunity to respond. And then there are multiple tracks after that. After it gets out of the grievance committee, it reaches the Board of Governors. And at every meeting, we have our meetings on Friday. On Thursday afternoon, for 2, 3, 4 hours, we go through the cases to ensure that the right decision is being met. So as you've heard, as you know by now, the legal profession is challenging. It's exciting, and it can be very, very rewarding. But as I was listening to the oath of admission, if you can follow that, that is, you won't have the discipline problems. So pull that out every now and then, read it and understand it. During your first few years of practice, necessarily you're going to learn as much as you can. Pay attention to the most professional members in whatever field that you enter. There are certain lawyers around town, around here, wherever you're going to practice, and they built a reputation primarily by being the most professional. And by that, I mean that they're competent, that their word is their bond, and that they keep in mind that we're all members of the court. And so a lot of times it's helpful to remember that there's something bigger than yourself out there. Now, I want you to protect your clients, obviously. And while you're doing that, don't cut corners. You're going to have opportunities to do that. Sometimes you feel rushed. Sometimes you feel like your client is putting you in a bad place. Sometimes you feel like opposing counsel is putting you in a bad place. But don't cut corners. It'll come back and bite you. Find a good mentor. Even if you're solo, find a good mentor. There are multiple ways of doing that. Some of the more experienced lawyers stay invigorated by talking to younger lawyers and learning from them, especially with technological things. We're dealing on the Board of Governors with the impact of AI on the ethical rules and other rules. And I don't know much about it, so I talk to lawyers who are much younger than I am. Especially during the challenging times, be nice to yourself. You're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. When you make a mistake, acknowledge it, learn from it, learn from it, learn from it, and then forget it so that you don't make that same mistake again. Avoid petty conflicts. It's just not worth it. I'll tell you, it's just not worth it. And I would imagine that all the judges would agree with me that when you get into a petty back and forth with the other side, it doesn't look good on paper. It really doesn't look good on paper. It can be attached to emotion. I've seen too many of them attached to grievance complaints. So avoid that if possible. Take a breath. If possible, wait overnight. If somebody has gone after you or your client unfairly, if possible, wait overnight. If you can, pick the phone up. If you're having a hard time with somebody on the other side of a case or a deal, and it seems like almost everything is an unnecessary skirmish that doesn't really advance the case or the deal or whatever it is, pick the phone up and say, hey, listen, is there any way we can start fresh? Because this is this is a waste of time. It's wasting your time. It's wasting my time, and it's really not it's not getting anywhere, and it's not serving the interest of our clients. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is it as part of, I said something about being nice to yourself, especially when you make mistakes. Take care of your mental health, your emotional health. Lawyers have an abnormally high rate of alcoholism and drug abuse, partly because of the stress of the profession, partly because I think of some of the personalities that are attracted to law school. So take care of yourself. And Judge Nardella talked about the sense of community. And that is one way that you can take care of yourself. Judge Traver talked about the Orange County Bar Association. That is that's a voluntary bar association. Florida Bar is mandatory. You have to pay a separate fee to be a member of the Orange County Bar. If you're practicing in Orlando or close by, I would encourage you to do that. I happen to think it's one of the best in the country. And one of the reasons that I think it's one of the best in the country is we have a mandatory pro bono requirement, meaning that you either have to take 2 cases a year or you have to pay a fee to the Legal Aid Society. For those of you who are in large firms, pro bono is a great way to get into court because those are going to be your cases, and you get to go up there and you get to start to establish relationships with the judges and get some courtroom experience. And it also gives you a sense of gratitude and appreciation as you help people who don't have the financial means to hire lawyers. The Orange County Bar has 10 luncheons a year. The Young Lawyer section is very, very active. There are social activities. There's a wonderful thing they do every February, dinner with the judiciary. It's called the Lawyers Literary Society. It's a book club, and I think Judge Traver has been active in that for years. But it will help you to understand that you're not in this by yourself. We are here as members of the Board of Governors to serve you. If there's anything that I can do for you in the future, please let me know. And I'll end by saying congratulations again.
There is a longtime tradition in the district courts of appeal that the law student who took the bar exam for that district is invited to address their new colleagues. When I invited this year's recipient to attend, he said that he was unable to do it. Normally, that would mean that I would go right to the next name on the list and have somebody here live. I thought the excuse, though, was particularly compelling. So by previously recorded video, I'd like to recognize Ryan Kynes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, everyone. I apologize that I could not join you all in person for this ceremony, as I'm currently on orders for the Army in Germany. However, it is truly a privilege to congratulate everyone on a job well done and for achieving this tremendous milestone in your legal careers. Now, while I recognize this honor likely makes me the biggest dummy in the room for studying too hard for a pass-fail exam, I'll keep my remarks brief. To begin, I'd like to say congratulations to the inductees for becoming licensed Florida attorneys. We have all achieved success in the face of adversity, with many of us overcoming obstacles ranging from health and family issues to parenting and career demands. Many of us transitioned immediately from law school finals into a bar prep marathon that did not end until after the exam. While the holidays were a great time to see friends and family, reviewing the rule against perpetuities before sitting down for Christmas dinner certainly made it more challenging to embrace the holiday spirit. But despite these challenges everyone in this room found a way to charge forward and accomplish the mission, and for that, we should be proud. However, none of this would have been possible without our tremendous support systems. I'd like to thank everyone that has been there with us every step of the way. Without you, we would not have been able to turn our aspirations into a reality. Thank you to all the spouses, family members, friends, mentors, professors, and other influential figures in our lives that have provided guidance, support, and a constructive environment to help us achieve our goals. While I recognize the anxious moods, irregular sleep schedules, and riveting discussions at the dinner table about the homestead property tax exemption may have proven challenging to tolerate, we are all forever grateful for your patience and understanding during these stressful times. Furthermore, I'd like to thank my parents, Kim and Greg, for their unwavering support throughout my time in law school and studying for the bar. I love you both very much, and I'm appreciative of everything you've done for me. Now turning to the path forward. Like many of you, I have only recently become a licensed attorney and don't have any profound insights about the path ahead. However, drawing upon our experiences during law school, some principles seem to hold true for all professionals in the legal field, ranging from the summer intern to the senior partner. The practice of law is a team sport. At times, law school may have felt like a solo competition in which we were all racked and stacked against our peers. However, the legal industry requires a team player that can collaborate effectively with others. To be a truly zealous advocate for our clients, we will need to invite diverse perspectives, leverage our teammates' strengths, and productively communicate with opposing counsel and third parties. Additionally, lawyers are in a unique position to positively effectuate change in our communities. Our knowledge of the legal system and skills refined throughout law school and our careers enable us to advocate on behalf of others. We should not squander this opportunity. We should instead strive to help others achieve their goals, engage in pro bono work, and become excellent stewards of our profession as leaders in the community. True leadership is not a product of the title on your door or the rank on your chest, but rather your ability to influence others and make a positive impact in their lives. Now, like the legal profession, the Army is founded upon a servant leadership model. I was actually a recent beneficiary of this philosophy when I had my oath administered for the Florida Bar. I walked into the JAG office on my installation in Germany on a Tuesday morning without an appointment and asked if they could swear me into the Florida Bar so my paperwork could be processed. Apparently, this request was so unexpected that all the attorneys in the office came into the waiting room to see if I was joking. Now, while Chief Judge Traver had previously explained to me that I could have the oath of attorney notarized at the German equivalent of a Staples office supply store, I had not yet reached that module in Duolingo. After some explaining as to why a random lieutenant needed to be sworn into the Florida Bar while on orders in Germany, one of the JAG officers happily obliged my request in the spirit of the Army's servant leadership mentality. However, while he administered and notarized my oath, the JAG officer expressed to me that in his experience, this type of thing would typically be accompanied by a ceremony and celebration. With that, I'd like to say congratulations again to all the inductees of this ceremony, and I hope that everyone takes the time to celebrate our tremendous accomplishments as we take the next steps of our legal careers. Thank you, and I look forward to working alongside everyone in the Sunshine State. Go Deeks, go Army, and God bless.
Lieutenant Kynes is a Wake Forest Law School graduate, and he's a military intelligence officer currently stationed in Germany. Like I said, I thought it was a compelling reason not to be here in person. I'm going to deliver some closing remarks in a moment, but I also want to talk about what happens after we recess. After I complete my very brief closing remarks, then I'll recognize Clerk Pechtel again for a benediction. And then I'll put the court into recess. At that particular point in time, everybody's welcome to come into the well of the court. My colleagues and I will be around to say hello, offer our personal congratulations. We never thought we would be in a position where we would offer to take a picture with somebody and they would want to do it, but that's happening now. So any of that is welcome and appreciated. If you have your, everybody should have their certificate. If you don't, talk to Clerk Pechtel about it. If you do, you need me to autograph it. So bring it back to her and I will happily do so and officially notarize your admission into the bar. I guess what I would say is in closing, to do right, to do good, and never to be outworked. And I can't really say much more about those than you've heard from your previous three speakers. Mr. Bedell talked about the concept of doing right. Doing the right thing isn't always the easy thing. In fact, what I've found in my career as a lawyer and judge is that mostly people do wrong because they don't want to do the hard thing. Doing wrong is easier. So don't do right just because it's the easy thing to do. Do it because it's the right thing to do, even when it's hard. To echo Lieutenant Kynes, do good. You're not going to find a charity board in this country that doesn't have a lawyer on it. And there's a reason for that. I would encourage you to get involved with the Bar Association and your colleagues because it humanizes them and it leads to relationships that strengthen society. Join a voluntary bar association that means something to you with people that you'd like to spend time with. But if you don't want to do either of those things and you don't want to hang out with lawyers, then do something that betters society, and charities are a great way to do it. Like I said, they're always looking for lawyers on their board. And the last thing, I don't think I can do any better than Judge Nardella said about the concept of don't be outworked. This is a passion. This isn't a 9-to-5 job. This is something that asks a lot of you. If you are the most prepared person in the room, you will never embarrass yourself, even if you're not the smartest person in the room. So remember that. We wish you, my colleagues and I, a very long, successful, productive, honorable, and ethical career. Okay.
May this oath be forever in the minds of these important lawyers and judges who have been in the field. May all of us walk with you in our lives, speak the truth of the judge. Above all, for the judge.
Thank you. The ceremonial session of the 6th District Court of Appeal is adjourned. Once again, congratulations.